what I'm talking about.
Wait! Okay, now, from the beginning.
Hit it, boys.
Hey everyone, welcome into The Arena, a multi-platform gaming news podcast. This is episode 109. I'm your host, Expat, along with my co-host, Burly of Burlyman Gaming. How you doing, Burly?
I'm doing good. How are you, Expat?
I'm doing good. Had a nice little shopping day with my wife today, so went shopping for some things because the winter season is coming. So yeah, I wanted to shop for some stuff for the tatami room and everything here in our condominium. So yeah, we had a good day, man.
Nice.
How about you? What did you do today?
Well, for me, it's only 6
I should say, yeah, I'm sorry. I should say yesterday. What did you do yesterday?
Well, yesterday I played the game of, since I had been up since 2 a.m., how long I could do without caffeine.
Okay.
And I did make it the whole day, but like
Nice.
8 p.m., I crashed. So it was just work, and I did get a few packages in that we'll talk about in a little bit.
Cool. Speaking of caffeine, obviously, I'm a big fan, as everybody knows, of Monster Energy. I have my big Monster Energy can here. Yeah.
Yep.
So, shout out to Monster. I love Monster Energy. So, yeah, I think I'll be.
Please consider
fine.
sponsoring us.
I'll be fine for the rest of this episode, I think. And I just want to mention our other co-host, Turn-Based Carl. He's off this week. Hopefully he'll be back next week with us. So, yeah. So we got a great show for you. Episode 109 of The Arena, multi-platform gaming news podcast. We're going to be talking about the Bayonetta voice actress, the situation with that. We're going to be talking about Call of Duty and PlayStation keeping it off of Game Pass. We're going to talk about that. The Callisto Protocol has gone gold, and we're going to be talking about Callisto Protocol. Silent Hill 2 is going to be remade. We're also going to talk about that. And of course, our topic of the show is going to be 30 frames per second versus 60 frames per second. So the debate about that, we're going to talk about that. And of course, our picks of the week for the week of October 24th through the 30th. But before we get into all of the weekly news beat and our picks of the week and our topic of the show, here's a brief word about where you can find the podcast.
Before the crew discuss what they have been playing, this episode of The Arena, a multi-platform gaming news podcast, in audio and video formats, will be going to Patreon in early access for one day after being recorded. So if you would like to support the show and become a patron at the entry tier 1 level at $1 per month and get early access to every episode in audio and video formats, exclusive post-show content in video format when recorded, as well as watch or listen ad-free, please visit patreon.com/thearena_podcast for further details. Weekly on Sundays, the podcast will be uploaded to all free podcast services, where you can find us on any podcast app for iOS or Android, and in video format on our YouTube channel, The Arena Productions. For the audio version, just download your favorite podcast app and search for The Arena, a multi-platform gaming news podcast. Subscribe, follow us, post a review, and leave us questions, comments, and feedback if you like, if that feature is available there, and spread the word about the podcast. We also have a Discord called The Arena Podcast, where you can join and chat with the Arena Podcast community, and the podcast audio website is at thearenapodcast.podbean.com, where you can follow us and leave questions and comments as well. For all information regarding the podcast and our entertainment and pop culture related content, along with our blog and forums, visit the official website of The Arena Productions at www.thearenaproductions.com. Finally, you can also follow us on Twitter at The Arena AMPGNP, as well as on Instagram at TheArena_podcast. Now, back to the show.
All right, so Burly, you have a couple of announcements and all. Go ahead, take it away, man.
Yeah, this came in. those that might not know what this is the Steam Deck dock.
Okay, so for all of you video viewers, yes, the dock, yes. Mm-hmm.
So mine came in. Mm-hmm. They finally announced it and allowed people to buy it. So I got mine pretty quick. I was shocked on the speed on that. So soon coming, we will do an extra take on that, and I'll give you my thoughts of this. Nice. And I will be comparing it. I do have another USB-C dock I've used in the past for recordings. So I'm going to compare the two. I'll show both docks and give you my thoughts on them.
Awesome. And then our other announcement, obviously, we talked about this last week, the Arena Multi-Platform Gaming News Podcast morning show, where we talk about all the news in the world of video games and game development that happens on that particular day. We're going to be doing our morning show, and it's going to be live exclusively on YouTube and the Arena Productions, obviously. And just want to let all of you know, and this is, I'm going to drop it for you video viewers, the times that we're going to be doing the show. So it's going to be Monday through Fridays. So it's going to be a weekday morning show for you out there in the West. It's going to start at 6:30 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, 3:30 a.m. on the Pacific side of the country, Pacific Standard Time, and 11:30 a.m. British Standard Time. So out there in the UK, it'll start at 11:30 a.m. for all of you out there. Now, I just want to let all of you know that the first week we come back, it's still going to be daylight time for you, but these times will remain the same. Okay, so just want to let you all know that. So from, I think, November 6th, all of you go from daylight time back to standard time. So, but it will still be, yes, it will be 6:30 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, 3:30 a.m. Pacific Standard Time, 11:30 a.m. British Standard Time. And for those of you listeners and viewers out here in Asia, out here, say in Japan, or wherever you are out here in Asia, particularly in Japan where I am here, it will be 8:30 p.m. Japan Standard Time. So it's not technically a morning show for all of us out here in Japan. It's an evening show. But yeah, I mean, most of our viewers and listeners, of course, out in the West, we decided to call it a morning show again. So yeah, so we're looking forward to bringing that to you. Burly, anything you want to say about the morning show?
I can't wait to do it, and I do apologize on the time chain days. I may be wearing sunglass shades for those days, because every time the time change happens, the first 3 days I do not sleep because it screws up my sleep that bad.
Yeah. I mean,
no, but I can't wait to do the morning show. That was a lot of fun doing that.
Yeah. Well, I'm looking forward to doing it too. And I mean, and for me, it's the evening, after work and coming home and stuff. And, sometimes I have my, other, like stuff that I do here, but, it's going to be great. I'm looking forward to doing it again. So, and of course, there will be, of course, a live chat, of course. Now we are partnered here on YouTube. And of course, there's the ability to use super chat and super stickers and super thanks for those of you that want to, help us out with our content creation and support us here on the Arena Productions. So we'd really appreciate all of that. So it's going to be exclusive for all of you here on YouTube. So yeah, so looking forward to bringing that back from November 1st. Okay, Burly, it's time to talk about what you've been playing this past week, because for me, I haven't had a chance to play a game this week. And I'm going to be honest with all of you viewers, all of you listeners out there. I love video games. And as you know, my handle is expat_gamer. I am a gamer, but recently, I'm going to be very honest with you, I haven't had a chance to play video games. Not only do I have a day job and all, but I've been working very, very hard to get the Arena Productions and the YouTube channel to where it is now. And it takes up all of my free time, basically. The videos that I make with Burly and Carl. And then I do all of the production work. I make all of the thumbnails. I make everything when it comes to the production of these shows. Not only the gaming show, but also Marvel, Star Wars, Star Trek shows that we do, and our fantasy show. with House of the Dragon and Rings of Power, and soon we're going to be doing The Witcher season 2. So yeah, I mean, I'm just really, really busy with that. I try to get some time for gaming in, and I'm sure I probably will pretty soon. But I just want to be honest with you, and I don't want to come out and and say, oh, I played this game, and be lying to you. I don't want to do that. So yeah, just to let you know that I haven't had a chance to play a game, but I'm going to throw it off to Burly because I know Burly, he has played some games, and I don't want to waste any more time. So Burly, take it away. What games have you been playing this past week?
I was gonna say, play games. You sure you're talking about the right person? There's no ever. No, I'm kidding.
Come on.
I finished up Dead Space 2 earlier in the week. I really enjoyed it. It is a much better game than the first game. Not to say that the first game is bad by any means. My only criticism with Dead Space 2 is I have two little criticisms. One is you're getting, at times you'll get ammo for guns you don't have. So I do not like that. The first game didn't have that problem. So it's just like, I don't like that because like in times in Dead Space 2, you can be quite limited on the ammo.
I see.
But the nice thing with Dead Space 2 over 1 is if you're on a higher difficulty and you want to lower it down for a bit, you can easily just go in the menu, swap it. That is so nice to be able to do that.
Yeah.
Also, in some places, the shop locations, the amount you get are very limited in some chapters. Like in some chapters, it took me quite a while to get through because instead of giving you a shop, at least because I would always keep a good stack of money on because you not only for different guns you want to buy, but I didn't buy as many power nodes, but it's more just when you do get the suit upgrades available, you instantly buy those because you want the more ammo space and whatever benefit the suit upgrades give you.
Nice.
But I can highly recommend Dead Space 2.
Yeah, it's a great game. Honestly, my personal opinion, I thought the first Dead Space game is the best of all three, but Dead Space 2 is a close second. I mean, it's really good. So yeah. And what else have you been playing?
I did try out Plague Tale Requiem. I did one stream of that. I was planning on going to stream more of it, but for those that have, if you're a streamer, there's definitely more that I'll be honest. I like to have an interactive chat and all that, but when your chat is just don't want spoilers lurk from 98% of your audience, it's kind of just it kind of just puts a break. But for what I played over 3 hours of this. I did enjoy what I played. There is a few things though, like they've added some new melee combat options. I don't like it as much with that because the problem is it's not consistent. You can counter enemies and sometimes kill them, but sometimes you can't. And they have this whole new knife system where you'll find knives and you'll get the option when a guard's about to come and chop you. You can, I think it was the Y button on the Xbox. You can hold the Y button and you knife them and then your knife is gone. And
now, like, really, I want to ask you one thing though, not to be spoilery or anything, but in the story, when you start the game, because it looks like the character Hugo here, he looks almost the same exact age as the previous game, A Plague Tale: Innocence. So, I mean, how far into the future is this game when the game starts from Innocence?
It's a few months. I can't remember if they say 6 months or not.
Okay. So not too much time has elapsed. Okay, I see.
Yeah.
Okay. And of obviously millions and billions of rats, right?
Oh, yeah. And you're from where we are in the trailer here. You're not too far from a bunch of rats coming. Yeah.
Up there they are.
Yeah. Those things, and you really it does. This game is still like the first game had its challenges and gets difficult. This game does continue on with that, like, and your timing has to be really good in some of these puzzles. They do have a difficulty select. I'm playing on normal, I think they call it moderate.
Yeah.
I can't remember. So it's interesting having a difficulty selecting. Like I'm gonna see how far I can get. If I have to dump down, I will. But I'm interested to see where the story is gonna go. I'm on chapter 3.
Okay.
I think I'm near the end of it.
Okay.
Chapter 3.
And how many chapters are in this game? Totally.
I don't know in this one.
Around 10, maybe? Yeah.
I think it's like 10 to 12.
Okay.
I remember I heard something around that. But as you know, and I've heard from reviews, chapters are only about like an hour. Some are a little less, some are a little bit more. It all depends.
And how long did it take you to finish the first chapter?
I think it was like 40 minutes.
Okay, so not so long. I see.
Yeah.
All right. Okay. Any other games, or is that pretty much all?
No, I got 2 more.
Okay, go for it, man.
Yeah. No problem. Xenoblade 3. I'm still working my way through on that. I know Tweel is going to be so happy hearing that. And
shout out to our patron Tweel. Yes.
Yeah, he is awesome.
Yep.
I also, with that, the second wave of DLC has come out. So you had the new character come out.
Yeah.
So I did just start that and recruited the new character, and it's actually kind of nice because I have that new character for the story. It's just nice how now I have an extra attacker in the battles.
Cool.
So battles go a little bit quicker now.
Well, I think you'll agree with me. I think we know what Tweel is playing now. Yeah.
Oh.
something that has Mario involved in it. Yeah.
Oh yes. Yeah. He's doing Mario. I'm interested to see how well that game is, and
Mario plus Rabbids Sparks of Hope. Yeah.
Hope.
So, yeah.
I'm interested because I did like the first game. It was just out of everything because we had a bunch of drops that just happened, and it's like if I'm going to spend $90, I don't think I want to spend $90 on that game. I'll be honest. I spent 10 on the first one, and I more than got my money's worth. But it was like if I would have spent 90, I don't know if I'd get that same,
Yeah.
And the other game I played, thanks to PS Plus Premium, is Bloodstain, Ritual of the Night. I tried that. Yeah. Tried that out. I'm enjoying it. Like I loved the Igarashi, the Metroidvania, Castlevanias.
Right.
It's been a lot of fun so far, and it's kind of nice that early on in the game you start off with shoes as your weapon, but you get so many different weapon types at the beginning. So it really tries to be like, try your variety.
Yeah.
Try what you prefer. And with the shards mechanic being your magic, it's like, here you go. Try and find what you like. But if you keep killing the same enemy, and you have chance of getting more of that same shard, making it better. And then you can increase them by ranking them up through the shop by sacrificing items. It's really cool.
Nice. All right. So thanks for that, Burly. Yeah. So for all of you viewers and listeners, once again, like I said, this last week, haven't had a chance to play any games. Well, hopefully I'll get a chance to definitely start a Plague Tale Requiem. We definitely want to get into that. And we're probably going to be talking about that a little bit in the topic of the show as well. We'll get to that. So now it's time to jump into the weekly news beat, Burly. And good old Bayonetta, obviously, we had the story this week about the voice actress that's urging people to boycott the game. So I'm going to leave the link for all of you video viewers here. So from the Kotaku article, and it's basically the voice actress, Helena Taylor. She has been the voice of Bayonetta since its inception, right? But basically, as the report came out, she was only offered $4,000 for this job, and basically she was, replaced, by Jennifer Hale, who is an established voice actress, there was some other news about this that kind of broke later on, basically saying that Platinum Games had offered $15,000 for the game. But it's like a he said, she said. The publisher said this, she says this, and obviously she had written to Kamiya-san, Kamiya Hideki, and of course on his Twitter he posted basically sad and deplorable about the attitude of untruth. That's what all that I can say about this. And then of course he warns everybody about beware of my rules that I'll block you. And he's been blocking a lot of people so far. But Burly, what do you think of all this? I mean, whether it's $4,000 or whether it's $15,000, I think that's a pretty small chunk of change when it comes to these video games and the amount of money that they make. And obviously there are other voice actors and actresses that are coming out and speaking. And I think they're worth a lot more than probably what they're getting paid for. And in this particular case, I mean, whether it's $4,000 that she was offered or $15,000 or whatever, I think that's a very small price. It's almost kind of an insulting amount for those that are using this profession to put food on the table for their families and to support their families and have a home. Whereas Nintendo and Platinum Games and everybody else is making millions off of this game. Your thoughts?
Yeah. This was an interesting story to say the least. Like when she first announced and said, "Oh, I'm only getting paid $4,000." It's like, okay, that's instantly everyone agreed. If that is true, she only gets paid $4,000 for the game.
Yeah.
To voice all the lines. That's an insult. $15,000 ain't much better. Like I'm if she was only offered $15,000, that's a slap in the face, because this is the third game. Bayonetta 1 sold well. Bayonetta 2, I know it did sell well, because we're getting to Bayonetta 3, and it has said that the series has made a couple $100 million. So it's like, I'm sorry, she should get a little bit more than $15,000, but more has come out. Apparently she wanted a 6-figure salary and all this stuff. I'm not saying that she's not entitled to that. I'm not saying that. $15,000 seems a little too light for me on this. And hopefully this does start the discussion for more of how much are these voice actors getting paid, and how many some of these recognizable voices that we get in gaming, are they getting screwed? Like, are they getting only $15,000? Like, is the guy that plays Kratos, is he only getting $15,000?
No way. No way, man.
And the voice actor that's Spider-Man, I doubt he's getting that. Like, I know some studios and stuff have a better working relationship. This and them to get Jennifer Hale in, Jennifer Hale ain't doing this for $15,000. It seems to me they were tired of her. Whether she was difficult to work with or not, I'm not going to get into that. They didn't want her anymore. They lowballed her. They knew she was going to want more money, because I'm probably they were sure there was stuff after the second game and all that. She was probably like, and the next one we need to renegotiate. And they were like, you know what? I don't want to renegotiate with her. Let's just get someone else. And they lowballed her. They had to bring her in because of whatever, and then just lowballed her to get her out the door.
So I just want to say the update to the article, according to a report from Bloomberg, which was later corroborated by Video Games Chronicle, Platinum Games wanted to bring Helena Taylor back to Bayonetta 3 and offered to pay somewhere between $3,000 and $4,000 per 4-hour session for at least 5 recording sessions. That's, for a total of 15,000, at least 15,000. And that was verified by Bloomberg and Jason Schreier. But
and they still wanted her to come in now. Like, they've offered for her to come out and do a cameo, and it's like, you guys burnt that bridge. I know you're doing this, saying we'll have her come back for a cameo character just to get the goodwill, but like they didn't want. It seems to me they didn't want her anymore. They want her gone.
Yeah,
and they were like, okay, let's get Jennifer Hale in. We can get her. So because I don't think Jennifer Hale's doing this for 15 grand. I think she's doing it for much work because she is a very established name in voice acting. So
right.
I can't see her doing it for less than 15 grand.
Yeah,
They got her in, and but controversy like this does help sell games. Let's not forget. Remember the whole stuff with Last of Us 2 at the beginning?
Yeah.
When all the leaks and stuff, everyone thought, oh, this game with all the leaks and stuff wasn't going to sell. It was sold so many copies and all that. And it's just like, I can't. It may be a thing they also thought of marketing. They were like, we could also market this. Yeah. Because you know how scummy some of these marketing teams can be.
It's just interesting how, Helena Taylor and she was the voice of Bayonetta from the beginning. So you would think that she would be pretty prominent in the voice acting community as well as Jennifer Hale. I don't see, why they would stiff her like this. Maybe it was like Jennifer Hale, the name could make more money for the game, and so they decided to make a change. I don't know, man.
I think it's Jennifer Hale with the name may help. I think it's more they had issues with her for probably for the second game. Yeah. I'm saying either she said, okay, I'm doing it for this rate for this game, but next game we're going forward. We need to renegotiate. Yeah. And they're like, we don't want to give more of our money up to you. Yeah. It's either that or she was, they had a bad working relationship together where she was difficult to work with, or that they were difficult to work with her. I think it's somewhere in the middle. They both had their problems with each other.
It seems like that there's a lot of pieces of this puzzle that still haven't been put together when it comes to this story, and we're probably going to hear more about it later on, because once Bayonetta comes out, Bayonetta 3, we're probably going to get after the fact, and after it's released, then we're probably going to start seeing those pieces come in, and we'll find out more. But
well, I hope we do. And for her to just say $4,000, like, no, say 15. Yeah. If it was 15 grand, say 15. Yeah. You said the lower number because that's going to get the most attention, and that's going to win people to your side. I hate that. If you come out with the facts and your facts are correct, people will swing to you, because what are we going to say? Oh, she got 15 grand. She was overpaid, that bitch. No, we're not going to be like that. We're going to be like, what? Sorry about that, but it just I used it for kind of just a purpose there.
Don't worry about it, man.
Yeah, 15 grand. We're all saying it's too low, especially for the third game. We're all going to be like, yeah, that's not right.
Yeah, I think transparency is very important, and just coming out with the facts and then stating your opinion on it. I mean, that's the most important thing. So, all right. Well, speaking of another story this week, when it comes to, Microsoft and Sony, again, we're getting more and more on this, obviously. It seems like PlayStation, is going to go to hell and high water to make sure that Call of Duty does not get onto Game Pass. So, yeah. So our next story, and of course the link is below here from the Video Games Chronicle article. Call of Duty may not appear on Game Pass for a number of years due to a prior Activision Sony deal. So, so I'm going to go ahead and read a little bit of this for you. So, this is from Video Games Chronicle. So, it's kind of crazy. Microsoft recently published its response to the Competition and Markets Authority, CMA, decision to review the billion-dollar merger due to several concerns, including the impact of competition in the console game streaming and subscription spaces. We talked about this a lot last week. So in it, a footnote references a tweet from Phil Spencer alluding to, quote, prior agreements, end quote, between Activision and Sony, which would prohibit Microsoft from adding Call of Duty to Game Pass, even in the event of the acquisition being approved. Quote, the agreement between Activision Blizzard and Sony includes restrictions on the ability of Activision Blizzard to place Call of Duty titles on Game Pass for a number of years, end quote. The footnote reads. So Microsoft has criticized the UK competition regulator's decision to expand its inquiry into the corporation's proposed acquisition of Activision Blizzard and has claimed that the regulatory board is adopting, quote, Sony's complaints without the appropriate level of critical review, end quote. So it's been speculated that should the acquisition be finalized, Call of Duty, which is often the highest selling game of the year across all consoles, would appear on Microsoft's subscription service, thus severely undercutting Sony, where the game would be sold for full price. But that's pretty much what's going to happen with every game, not just Call of Duty. Mm-hmm. However, it now appears that even should the merger happen, this couldn't happen for some time. Sony and Activision entered into a co-marketing deal for the mega franchise during the PS4 generation, a relationship it has maintained until now, with even this year's Call of Duty title receiving PlayStation exclusive perks. So the CMA's extensive summary of its decision to expand its inquiry said it's concerned the deal could harm PlayStation and other game subscription services should Microsoft make Activision Blizzard content exclusive to its platform. The regulator is also concerned that Microsoft could use this content to outcompete game streaming rivals such as Amazon and Nvidia. So, yeah. So, Burly, I mean, yeah, Sony's had this deal since the PS4 generation, right? You know, I mean, but if this deal goes through, and it's interesting, a lot of people in the gaming world now are saying that there's a possibility this might not happen now, that this could be the big roadblock with the CMA and all. But you know, couldn't Microsoft actually, you know, rescind that deal if the deal goes through and say, okay, you know, that deal that you used to have, it's done, and now we're going to put it on Game Pass.
Technically you can, but to do that, there's like lawsuits opportunities, and there's a bunch of legal mumbo jumbo that it would cost Microsoft money to do that. Like it would, because they have that deal with Sony.
Yeah,
Activision has that deal, and you know, Sony, if they're fighting this hard already, you don't think they're going to fight that hard on that deal if Microsoft, let's say on Monday morning the deal went through. Let's say the full deal went through. Microsoft has full control.
Yeah.
And Microsoft wanted to spite them. If they went to try and do that, yeah. Tuesday morning, Sony'd be fighting with every legal thing.
Yeah.
To stop it. Yeah, this is a story I like I've said on previous. I'm tired of hearing, but it is an important story in gaming.
Yeah.
We knew they had a deal with Activision. Sony keep making this deal with Activision, and hey, I get it, because as you said, Call of Duty is always like the top selling game of the year, no matter what. And PlayStation was getting all this exclusive. I think, wasn't it that years ago, the first Modern Warfare remaster that came only to PlayStation for like a year exclusivity, then came to the other consoles. Like that, like PlayStation would get exclusive maps, exclusive this, exclusive that.
Yeah,
we did all this kind of stuff.
Well, couldn't Microsoft just do that? I mean, if the deal actually goes through, then say, okay, well then. Yeah, we won't put it on Game Pass, but then we're going to make exclusive content that Sony doesn't get.
Oh yeah, they can do. You can do exclusivity deals, but I don't know all the details with the Sony one, so I don't want to say, yeah, sure they can. They may have to wait for the Sony deal to expire or counter and do some stuff, and I don't know how you do that with all the legalese involved on that. You'd have to do so much.
That and the timed exclusivity, timed exclusive, like, Kind of like what they did with what was it, Rise of the Tomb Raider.
Yep.
Microsoft had it for like a year. Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, Microsoft had it for a year, and then it came to
yeah.
PlayStation. It's
Right. Yeah.
see,
I hate
Sony,
that. I hate
like
that. Yeah. It's like
I hate the timed exclusivity too. But
yeah.
I hate that certain platforms get exclusive content. That I hate because it's like, oh, I don't have this, but I really want to play this game and this extra content. Now I gotta go buy this just if I want this.
Yeah.
In a perfect world, it'd be
Well,
all equal on everything, but it is what it is.
Sony knows that Game Pass is going to destroy them when it comes to, whether or not you want to pay for a subscription service for $10 a month and get Call of Duty for $10 a month, or pay $70 up front. That they know that is going to hurt their business. They're still going to be the market leader.
Their business.
They're still going to be the market
that'll
leader.
hurt their business. It won't kill them. I think.
No. I'm not saying it's going to kill them, but I'm saying that it will hurt them. But they're still going to be the market leader. Come on, I mean, look at all the other games like the Final Fantasy games, all that stuff.
Spider-Man, God of War,
a lot of the Square Enix games. They've got dibs on all of those games, right? So I mean, they're not gonna go, the way of the dinosaur anytime soon.
Yeah. No, that's the thing. Yeah, like I'm not happy with Sony's choice here. They just want it because they know how much money Call of Duty has made them millions, probably $1 billion or $2 billion just on Call of Duty alone. They want to keep having that because they know it. Like I said, it will dip into their sales when Microsoft takes it, and you don't get that exclusivity stuff for Sony. Call of Duty will still sell on PlayStation because Microsoft is not dumb. You're paying that much for Activision. You want Call of Duty on everything and making the numbers up for what you paid for it. And they know it'll still sell gangbusters on PlayStation, so you might as well have it there, get as much of that sales so you can recoup your costs back.
It's going to be interesting to see now if this deal does not go through. How will Microsoft retaliate? And I think they will in a certain way. I know Phil Spencer is not the kind of guy that's gonna, be vindictive but as a business, they're going to retaliate in some way if this does not go through. And it's not going to be good for Sony if that happens. With all the money that Microsoft and Xbox can throw around. Well, it would not be pretty.
Oh yeah, no, that is going to go nuts if that happens. But one thing that also came out this week is the UK is also asking consumers at this point on this deal. It's like, out of all the things the UK people need to worry about, this is nothing they need to worry about.
Right.
No, I want consumers to have a voice, mind you, and all that. But all the stuff they've just had happen. Yeah. I think Call of Duty, whether or not it's going to be, if it's going to Microsoft and Microsoft's getting Activision, Blizzard, and King, out of all the other problems of the world, I think they're going to care the least on this.
Yeah, but in a sense, you have to kind of worry about the majority of gamers in the UK. I would imagine. I don't know if this is still true. You can correct me in the comments if I'm wrong, but probably the majority of gamers in the UK are their first console of choice is PlayStation. So we shall see. But
as it should be. I mean, oh my.
I'll be honest with you, Burly, and for all of you listeners and viewers out there. During the PlayStation 4 generation, the PlayStation was my console of choice, number one console of choice. Yeah. I mean, this generation so far, Xbox, because of Game Pass and all of, that it's done. Don't get me wrong. I'm a multi-platform gamer. That's why this podcast is called a multi-platform gaming news podcast. But I mean,
I'm a multi-platform too, but I've had some people that go on me and they're like, oh, you don't do as much on the Xbox. It's like, I like my Xbox. I do
Yeah.
stream with it, and I do play games on it. I love the Game Pass.
Yeah.
But like I grew up with the PlayStation, so some of these
Yeah.
franchises you play for 20 something years.
But some developers though, and this is kind of part of not part of our next story in a sense, but some developers might not want you to play with the Xbox Series S
Yeah.
because of the news and everything that's been going on. We're going to be talking about that later. But anyway, speaking of what console of choice there is for, say, the Callisto Protocol, Burly, what system are you going to choose to play it on?
It is PlayStation 5.
Okay. Yeah, I'm probably going to play it on PlayStation 5 too, because I've got Plague Tale Requiem to play on Xbox. I don't know. It'll be a tough call because, God of War Ragnarok's going to be coming around the corner, and it's coming out before Callisto Protocol. So maybe I might play it on Xbox Series X. We shall see. But anyway, let's get to our next story. Of course, Callisto Protocol is going to be 60 frames per second, and this week we just got the news also that the game has gone gold.
As of yesterday, I believe it
as
went
of yesterday, yeah. So I mean, there were some people out there, worried about it was going to get delayed and all, but no, it's coming out on schedule. But yeah, Callisto Protocol will be 60 frames per second. And I will go ahead and show you the link here. Let me go ahead and drop the link for you from Push Square. And I'll go ahead and read a little bit of that for you. So 60 frames per second. Frame rates are all anyone wants to talk about at the moment. We're going to be talking about that in the topic of the show. So you'll likely be pleased to learn the Callisto Protocol won't be joining A Plague Tale Requiem and Gotham Knights, which we will be also talking about later during the topic of the show, in being locked at to 30 frames per second. The upcoming survival horror game will ship with a performance mode running at 60 frames per second. Striking Distance Studios has confirmed. Detailed in a tweet, the developer has also responded to a rumor circulating earlier of a possible delay, of course, to 2023. But obviously, we got the news that, of course, it has gone gold and it will be coming out on time. So, yeah. PS5 version will allow you to opt for either better visuals or an improved frame rate. So we don't know about the PS4 yet in that case, though. So, yeah, Burly, your thoughts. 60 frames per second on this one.
Yay! Like I must say, after the last little controversy that these guys had with the crunch and all this, it was nice for them to, you can just tell on all this, they came out swinging on this. 60 frames per second. I'm glad to see that. We'll go into more later about the whole 60 versus 30, but it's nice that they're just saying, yeah, no, we're going to have this and we're confident in our release. We've gone gold. They just, like, within a couple days after that said, yeah, we're gone gold. Yeah. We're confident in our product. Yeah. You'll be playing it. And for me, because you asked earlier why which platform PS5, because this comes out a couple days before my birthday, so my parents were clamoring what to get me, so I was like, here you go. And it, like, for me being on the Xbox, the Series S, it'd be a digital thing, so it's like, go buy me this little pamphlet thing of a digital code.
Yeah. I think, whether you play it on a PS5 or on an Xbox Series X, I mean, it's going to, then there's Fukuhara Karen, yay. From the boys. I think playing it on the Series X will be, just as cool and just as good. So, I'm looking forward to it, man. And like I said, we're going to be talking more about 30 versus 60, but honestly, I mean, for me, I'm really, really excited about this game. I wouldn't mind playing it in 30, but that's just my opinion. Because a lot of the past Dead Space games were probably 30. So, I'm excited to play it, but it'll be really, really cool and stunning visually and to play it in 60. So.
Oh yeah, like this is a game now that I've played Dead Space 1 and 2, I'm really, really looking forward to.
Yeah.
And it's going to be interesting to see what because these are the original makers of Dead Space, see what they kept and what are they going to change and add to the formula.
Yeah.
For this.
Yeah, that's for sure. Yep. All right.
And we'd love to hear from you. Which platform are you going to play Callisto Protocol on?
Yeah, let us know in the comments. We'd really like to hear from you about that, and which console, or are you going to play it on PlayStation or on Xbox? Let us know. Really like to hear from you in the comments on that. So,
or are you going to wait 3 years from now to get the Switch cloud port?
Yeah.
I don't think this game's coming to Switch.
There's no. I wouldn't play this game.
Even though like they've done those cloud versions of like Dying Light.
Yeah.
I can't see this game coming to Switch. I had to throw the joke in there.
Well, our next story, obviously. I'd like to know your opinion, Burly. Would you play this on the Switch? Silent Hill 2 remake. It's coming to PS5 and PC, so probably it won't be coming to the Switch anytime soon. But yeah. So of course, there's the link for you to the Polygon story. So if, for all of you video viewers, if you want to check that out, you can. And I'll go ahead and show you the image here of this. So yeah, Silent Hill 2 remake. Finally, they announced it. So I'll read a little bit of the article here for you. So Konami is bringing Silent Hill 2, widely regarded as the best entry in the psychological horror game franchise, to modern platforms with a new remake. Silent Hill 2 is coming to PlayStation 5 and Windows PC. Konami announced Wednesday during its Silent Hill transmission live stream. The Silent Hill 2 remake appears to be a top-to-bottom recreation of the game, as revealed by a debut trailer that showcased highly detailed graphics, new voiceover work, and new music. And I will go ahead and show you that trailer here in a second. So anyway, Burly, what are your thoughts on this remake?
Yeah, I'm glad to see for those that are Silent Hill fans, because I know this is one of like the big game in the Silent Hill series people want to see remade. I never got into Silent Hill. I tried the demos back in the day, like growing up on the good old PS1 with the PS1 demo discs. Mm-hmm. I played a few of them. I may have played this one through demo disc, but like I tried them a little later on in my life. I just never got into Silent Hill, but this does look good. This remake from what we get in this trailer.
Yeah. And of course, they had to show a cockroach at the beginning of the trailer, obviously. So I don't know, though. I mean, seeing the sweat coming off his face, that didn't look too good. I don't know.
Yeah.
Just who knows?
Well, they had the same sweat engine from NBA. Was it? What was the 2020? From the I'm making a little joke in reference to when the PS5, the year the PS5 came out, because they were the first things they were showing off for the whole next gen Series X and PS5 was basketball player. I can't remember the player. Just shooting the ball and all the sweat coming off the face. I was like, yeah, because that's what I was missing in my sports games.
Was it LeBron James? I think maybe. I'm not sure.
It might have been LeBron. I don't know.
Yeah.
Be completely honest.
So Bloober Team is going to be developing this, and of course, they are responsible for Layers of Fear. So, should be interesting here. Yeah, so.
I know people are some people are happy about that. Some people aren't, because of some of their past games that they Bloober Team has done.
Yeah,
they're worried if they can pull this off. I'm hoping that this does come out well.
Yeah.
And both, or it running well both on the PS5 and the PC.
Yeah.
It's nice to see that this isn't just this isn't, oh, we're gonna shove a PS4 port in, you know what I mean, and it holds back a little. It's nice to see PC, PS5. I would love for it to seen on the Xbox and just giving more people a chance to play this, but who knows, it may come to Xbox in the future. Who knows, it maybe just be like a 1-year exclusivity or 2 years, something like that.
Yeah, there you go, Sony. Yeah, there you go.
You got Silent Hill 2. I don't have as much to say on this because I'll be like, as I said earlier, I'll be honest. Silent Hill, I just never got into, but for those fans, I know they've been craving.
Oh yes, yeah,
and they've been wanting the classic Silent Hill games.
It's a
remade.
big community for sure.
Yeah, I'm kind of surprised that they're starting with 2. Like, why wouldn't you go 1, do 1 really well, then go to 2? Because 2, I know it's because 2 is the big game and everyone loves 2, but
that's probably why.
You would think that you would start with 1.
Yeah. Well, maybe they think it's going to sell more too. So.
Oh yeah.
We shall see. All right, Burly. Let's get into the topic of the show. Let's talk about 30 versus 60, and this is like the big thing that's been going on this week. So I'll go ahead and show you guys our thumbnail for this week for this episode, and of course, topic of the show here. So I mean. 30 frames per second. Obviously, the news at Gotham Knights was, 30 frames per second, capped at 30 frames per second. Plague Tale Requiem, obviously, another one. It seems like it's at 30 at the moment. But Callisto Protocol here, as you see in the image, obviously, and we talked about that just a couple minutes ago, it's at 60 frames per second. I mean, visually, yeah. I mean, obviously, the games look prettier in 60, and the stability of the game, the way it runs, is probably a bit better at 60. But just giving my own personal opinion on this is just my personal opinion, an expat's opinion here. I would play any of these games either in 30 or 60. That's just the way I am. I mean, I'm not so fickle and picky about frame rates. I'm into story, and that's what moves me the most when I play a video game. But then there's the people out there, and one of our co-hosts is one of them. They're very picky about, frame rates when it comes to video games. And obviously at the moment, 60, is, the better choice when it comes to, gamers out there that want to have the best, experience when they're, looking at something visually, I guess you could say. I would love to. I mean, I'm sure a lot of them would probably want their games to be 120.
Oh.
But yeah, I just, to me, it's not the biggest thing in the world. If a game is at 30, like Plague Tale Requiem, I'm still going to play it. I'm going to love it. I'm going to love the story probably. I'm not going to be playing the game thinking, oh, I wish I would have played this in 60. I've just never been like that. That's just me. And there's a lot of you out there that would probably, I'm not going to play the game unless it's 60. Well, that's your choice, And, if you love games in 60, that's great. But I don't know. I mean, there's probably a lot of pressure on these developers and publishers to get these games out, even though it's at 30 and they have to cap it at 30, but it takes months to get it to 60. But the game's the game. The story's not going to change if a game is 30 frames per second or 60 frames per second. That's just my take on it. Take it away, Burly. Your thoughts.
Alrighty. So yeah, I actually have the steelbook here for Gotham Knights. my copy came in.
Nice.
So
nice.
So yeah, I'll re-show it because the banner was.
Yeah, go for it. Yeah, there you go. Yeah. Well, let me go ahead and here for all of you video viewers, here we go. All right, take a look. There we go. All right, and the outside there. Yeah. So Burly loves to collect these things. Yeah. So yeah, he's a collector. So.
No, I'm an idiot. But
no, you're not. Don't say that. You're not an idiot. You're just a gamer that loves to collect. So yeah. So.
Yeah. No, the whole 30 and 60, like I played Plague Tale Requiem on my Series S, so I'm not going to spend full $90. I'm going to be completely honest, and it runs fine at 30. I have no problems. Yes, I would love games to do 60. I would love for that. But if you make a game well, you can run it at 30 and you'll have no problems. I'm like, there are those people that are live or die, 60 or bust. And you're never going to please those. If you don't get 60, you're never going to please those people. Then there's the whole thing. You mentioned 120. So I'm guessing you did see the news with God of War having the one mode with 120 frames per second.
That is going to be amazing for all of you that are that you know, you're into the frame rate type of thing. That's going to be amazing for you. So yeah, cool.
Yeah, no, like that is that I'm gonna try. It's like, okay, you're putting that out there, 120 frames per second. I got, you now know I got to test this. I got to test and see this. Right.
Yeah.
That's but.
And that's a selling point too. That is definitely a selling point for some people. You know, they're gonna want to be like, wow, it's 120. I got to check it out. I got to try it, just like you said.
Yeah, that's huge, and their marketing team can run with that.
Yeah.
But
and it's exclusive. Yeah.
For games like Gotham Knights here, it running at 60. I would love to see run in 60 because you've got the whole action, the fidelity, and all that. Love to see that. For something like, I'm going to bring another steelbook out for another game here, Persona 5 Royal. Persona 5, if that runs at 30, you're gonna care a lot less, like, because it is a turn-based RPG. Yeah, because that is what it is. I would love everything in a perfect world. It'd all be 60 and all that, but it all depends. There's so many factors because you got to see what the engines they're working with. Because how many times have we seen games where they don't come out the way we were promised and all that because they were using an older engine, held back with the engine and all that, because they stuck with something old, right? And all that.
Yeah.
Like, I'm not live or die. I want 60 for my action style games like Gotham Knights. But you know what? I'm gonna try it and see how it is in 30. And from what I've heard, it runs fine. Right. It's just people are mad. And here's the thing: if it comes out with 30, how many games 4 to 6 months after do they put the patch? They'll patch and get the 60. Yeah. And so not everyone is going to games day one. Some people wait quite a while and get them when they're on sale in the holidays.
Exactly.
So just wait it out.
Yeah. And like I said, I mean, I hate to, to beat an old horse here, but I mean, for me, just myself personally, it doesn't matter. It's all about the story. Like you said, Burly, I mean, if the game runs well, then to me, it doesn't really matter if it's 30 or 60. Yeah. I could see, like competitive shooters and things like that. And, those type of games where, the multiplayer aspects of it, you have like your esports, things like that. I mean, game running at 60, game running at 120. I mean, I think that's essential.
Those kind of people, they will notice, that's the thing. Obviously. I can tell the difference between 60 and 30, but it's just a matter of preference on with what style of game. As long as, even if the game runs at 30, as long as the game runs well, and I'm not I'm getting frame drop hiccups and stuff like that. Yeah. As long as everything runs and is smooth, I'm not gonna care as much.
Yep. So with that said, that is our topic of the show. So 30 versus 60. So whether you like to play games in 60, or like wait for them to get patches and get 60 frames per second, or if you're just you don't mind if the game is if it runs well and you love the stories and stuff, you don't mind playing it in 30. It's a big topic right now. So with these new games coming out and some of them being at 30 frames per second, some of them being at 60. And of course the news that came out, Burly, obviously, that some of the the publishers and the developers were saying that, particularly with the Xbox and the Series S, was one of the reasons that it was holding some of these games back from being developed in 60. Yeah, it's
Well, you know what? If you're gonna say the Series S holds it back, you make this. Anyone that's buying a Series S knows you're not getting the top. I know that. That's
yeah,
part of the reason why I bought the Series. I bought the Series S because it was a cheaper, smaller unit. I didn't want to spend
right,
because for me here in Canada, these are $600 boxes,
right,
PS5 disc and the Series X.
yeah,
I'm not spending that plus the 13% tax.
right,
I went the Series S was like half the cost, so it's like
yeah,
I understand I'm taking a sacrifice, but I'm getting a much smaller unit to easily put in my entertainment center, and
right,
I'm not spending as much. So if the
exactly.
Series S version of A Plague Tale is less than the Series X and PS5 version,
Yeah,
oh well. The
yeah,
game from what I played of Plague Tale, it runs well on my Series S, so I'm not going to
yeah,
complain.
yeah, yeah. Obviously. All right, so it's time to go to the upcoming game releases for the week of October 24th through the 30th. So we're almost at Halloween. So anyway, you can go
Yep.
to releases.com, of course, to see all of the games that are releasing this month. So yeah, you can check out that link below for all of you video viewers out there. So I will go ahead and show you my game of the week, my pick of the
Ooh.
week. So it's kind of an old school, but yeah, it's good stuff. So Signalis is my pick of the week. A classic survival horror experience with a unique aesthetic, full of melancholic mystery. Investigate a dark secret, solve puzzles, fight off nightmarish creatures, and navigate dystopian, surreal retro tech worlds as Elster, a technician replica searching for her lost dream. So it comes out on PC, PS4, PS5, Switch, Xbox One, and Xbox Series X on October 27th. So yeah, cool stuff.
And a little note on this game: if you're thinking of picking this up, and
Mhm.
you're a PC player, check
Yeah.
out Humble Bundle. If you join just for the end of this month, if you join
Yes.
their monthly thing, you can
Mhm.
only join if you join for 1 month and cancel. You get this game and Deathloop for I think it's
Nice. Yeah.
9 US or 13 Canadian.
Yeah. 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 Good stuff. Yeah. So Signalis. Yeah. So October 27th. Yeah, I like the pixelated art style. It's really cool.
Yeah,
So,
that looks so good.
yep. Yep. Good old
And there
Humble
you go, Humble
Games.
Games. So yeah,
That's
yeah, the
right.
sponsor.
That's right. All right, Burley, what do you got for us next?
My pick of the week is DLC to a game I played earlier in the year,
Mhm.
Stranger of Paradise Final Fantasy Origin, the Wonder of the Rift DLC. Fight your way
Nice.
through the labyrinth of dimensions, a dungeons that randomly configures your path to unlock pieces of the story. Wonder of the Rift will introduce a new job, Blue Mage, and special monsters you can fight and summon into the battlefield with the use of a summoning stone. In addition to new equipment that unlocks new abilities, a new class of enemies called chaotic monsters will be added to give the player a more diverse and challenging experience. It's coming out on Wednesday, October 26th, coming to PC, PS4, PS5, Xbox One, and Xbox Series. I really enjoyed this game, so giving me a new job to
Mhm.
play, it,
Yeah. That's good
and like,
stuff.
hey, getting summoning, like this was a game, in my opinion, like when we did the extra take, go check out our extra take on it.
Yes. Mhm.
I think it came out at a time it was going to get overlooked. If you're into these action RPGs, I highly recommend checking it out.
Yeah. Yeah. It's good stuff. Yeah. All right. So those are our new game releases and, of course, picks of the week for October 24th through the 30th. So, of course, releases.com. The link is below one more time there for you. So you can check out all the games that are coming out and the games that are coming out into November as well. So it has the full list of all the new game releases that are coming. So, yeah, so go and check that out. It's good stuff. All right, Burley, it's time to talk about what we're going to be playing this next week. I will hopefully, hopefully get a chance to play a game this week. Yeah, I want to start a Plague Tale Requiem. So I want to get into that, get that started. Um, Gotham Knights. I think that's going to be a while off. Once I finish Plague Tale Requiem, that's a game I really want to play. How about you?
Well, you mentioned one, Gotham Knights.
Gotham Knights.
Might as well show it up again. I paid the money, so that's one. And plan to do more Plague Tale Requiem on my own time, and some Xenoblade. Continue on with those. Also, I might stream some more Bloodstain because I did have a lot of fun with that.
Cool. Yeah. All right. Okay. So it's time for our indie recording artist spotlight to finish the show. So this week's spotlight is on Balloon Planet, Burly. Balloon Planet. Balloon Planet is a Hungarian-Slovak duo based in Prague that has been creating music together since their teenage years. Inspired by the shared harmony and joy of their lives, they create clean, distraction-free, and versatile music to accompany life's everyday moments. From their album titled Late Night Fun, and the song is called Must Dance. So this has been the Arena, a multi-platform gaming news podcast, episode 109. I've been your host, Expat, along with my co-host, Burly of Burlyman Gaming, and our other co-host, Turn-Based Carl. Hopefully he'll be back with us next week. So we hope to catch you all in the next one. So take care, everyone. Peace.